After months of paperwork and engagements, Malawi is back on the Open Government Partnership, OGP, an initiative that promotes government accountability, responsiveness and inclusiveness.
I declare the National Action Plan for Open Government Partnerships in Malawi officially launched.
OGP is an international multi-stakeholder initiative which aims at opening up governments at all levels, focusing on transparency, accountability, citizen participation and responsiveness to citizens through technology and innovation. It brings together an eco-scale government and civil society champions of reform who recognize that governments are more likely to be more effective and credible when governance is subjected to input and oversight. Chizaso Eric Nirongo is the Director of Legal Services in the Office of the President and Cabinet.
The National Action Plan is a tool because what it seeks to achieve as the National Action Plan is to make sure that governments are accountable, they are transparent, they are inclusive, and they also promote citizen participation and engagement. So basically that's what the National Action Plan is trying to achieve. The means through which it achieves that is by picking out certain priority areas which it can implement, which can be implemented in that in an implementation period of 2 years.
On Tuesday, June 6, 2023, all roads led to the Bingu International Convention Centre. Malawi's global partners, civil society, private sector, non-government organizations, the academia and all converged in the imposing structures conference room to witness the launch of the National Action Plan on OGP and be part of history in the making. With a mood of excitement in and outside the conference room, President Lazarus Chakwera arrived to launch the blueprint that is expected to change government culture. In his address, His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Chakwera described the National Action Plan as a gateway to the reactivation of Malawi's membership into the OGP.
This OGP membership means that the action plan Malawi is pursuing for reforms that enhance governance and accountability is so robust that it meets the standards and has the buy-in of global partners, civil society, private sector, non-governmental organizations, academia, and other stakeholders.
Among other benefits, the OGP membership will give Malawi access to international tools and standards that will promote transparency, citizenship engagement, and participation. The membership to the OGP, says Dr. Chakwera, affords Malawi room to achieve enabler number 2 of the Agenda 2063, which deals with governance structures.
OGP membership gives us areas of focus that are critical to the pursuit of Malawi 2063's enabler number 2, which deals with effective governance systems and institutions. This OGP membership signals our commitment to practice the provisions of our Constitution, which demand that those who govern must do so with transparency and accountability to sustain the trust of citizens.
Malawi joined OGP in 2013 in order to consolidate the country's democracy to ensure an open, inclusive and accountable government. The country developed its first action plan in 2016 that expired in 2018. For a period of 4 years, Malawi has been working to develop a successor plan. Presently, there are 75 countries and 106 local government authorities on the partnership implementing open government commitments, greater transparency, accountability, and citizen engagements in policy making. As a member of the OGP, Malawi is obliged to make commitments with firm timeliness and requirements. In her presentation at the launch of the 2023-2025 National Action Plan, Deputy Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Dr. Janet Banda, underscored the need for Malawi's return to the OGP.
2016 NAP expired in 2018, and Malawi operated for 4 years without a successor OGP NAP. This was mainly due to the absence of high-level political support during that period of time. So as a consequence, in March 2022, the OGP International Steering Committee designated Malawi as an inactive member. Countries designated as such continue to receive OGP technical assistance towards regaining active status. However, such members are not eligible to vote or to run for steering committee elections. They may only attend OGP meetings as observers for learning purposes.
As a step towards returning to the OGP, a national steering committee was set up, made up of representatives of government ministries, departments and agencies, as well as civil society organizations, the organized private sector, and the professional associations who work together to co-create a 2-year action plan stretching from 2023 to 2025. The action plan has 11 thematic areas such as open parliament, anti-corruption, right to information, digital governance, fiscal openness, gender, civic space, public service delivery, justice, marginalized communities, and natural resources. Malawi, through the co-creation process, prioritized 5 of the 11, including anti-corruption, where in the next 2 years, government will focus on the beneficial ownership and open contracting. Right or access to information is another thematic area that government will concentrate on in the action plan, where focus will be on political party financing. Natural resources is another thematic area of concentration. The key issue to be addressed here is the enhancement of transparency in the mineral resource governance. Government will also zero in on the digital governance in the next 2 years to accelerate the adoption of digital governance in government and use of ICT among Malawians. In the action plan, the government will also focus on open parliament to enhance transparency and parliamentary oversight on government borrowing. According to Chizaso Eric Nyirongo, the Director of Legal Services in the Office of the President and Cabinet, the thematic areas in the action plan are tailor-made to contribute to the achievement of the Malawi 2063.
2063 is not going to happen if the governance structures, if the governance institutions, if the governance environment is not enabled. So if you go and look into the Malawi 2063, you find that there's actually an enabler number 2, which is talking about effective governance systems and institutions. So what we're looking at open government partnerships is a way of making sure that the institutions and the processes in public service are actually more open, but they're also more transparent, they are more accountable, they are more inclusive, and citizens are engaged in these processes, and they also participate, not just engaged, but also participating in those processes.
The National Steering Committee and the Technical Working Group chairpersons joined President Chakwera in appending their signatures to the National Action Plan as a show of commitment to uphold the blueprint. First to sign was the National Steering Committee, led by Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Ms. Colleen Zamba, followed by the Anti-Corruption Technical Working Group, Right to Information Technical Working Group, Natural Resources Technical Working Group, and lastly, the Digital Governance Technical Working Group. At the center of the action plan's achievement is the role of the civil society organizations, CSOs. It is a requirement in the OGP process that CSOs make 50% participation. Osam Montali is the chairperson of the Council for Non-Government Organizations in Malawi, Kongoma.
It is a unique partnership where the government machineries will be in a position to live to the commitments of the OGP, of the NAP that the President have just launched today. So there are a number of key areas, reform areas, key that as CSOs will be there also to implement, walking the talk as well as CSOs, and make sure that we move and also hold our government to account on those commitments.
But does the action plan really matter? Aidan Eyakuze is the OGP Global Steering Committee member.
This is why this matters. It matters to ordinary citizens. It matters, and it will matter to ordinary Malawians. So I want to encourage and appeal to the people of Malawi directly and through civil society organizations to do three things. Here are the three things. Pay attention to the commitments you're about to hear. Read them, learn what they mean, understand their implications for your ordinary daily lives. This is your National Action Plan. Number two, participate in their implementation. Monitor what's going on through Parliament, through the accountability institutions that are constitutionally mandated, through the Office of the Ombudsman. Pay particular attention and then participate in their implementation. And the third thing, evaluate their results, and through a process of co-creation, as Mr. Ntonga said, contribute to improving their performance, their delivery, their results, and their impact.
And thriving to create a Malawi that works for every Malawian, the OGP must succeed, and its success depends largely on the citizens. The OGP membership, President Chakwera says, is a step in the right direction where Malawi will become the center of excellence in good governance.
My end goal is to see Malawi eventually become a global center of excellence in good governance. And this OGP membership means that we are on the right track.